Welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Thursday. No editing day for Tony. He's jacked up.
That's right, baby.
It's 1,000,000 degrees in here. I'm so jealous.
Fucking hot, dude.
Shorts and a t-shirt on. I have a fucking thermal shirt
dude,
on.
Why?
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But hey, we get through it, we adjust, and here we are. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Actually happy to be here. Yes, on the Thursday. Okay, we're getting called in here. The lefty baby. But it's stoked, dude. Rangers back in action. The hat's on. Let's fucking go. Some sweet Thursday night football matchups. So like, let's go, man. I think it's gonna be great. Dude. Even some basketball. Rob for some basketball. Knicks blew it. Kind of ridiculous, but Risha Share. Fantasy team dropped 30 last night. The guy
in Atlanta. I'm embarrassed. This is the first time ever I don't like. I know you just said his name, but besides that, like I like if someone just randomly asked me, like I don't know who the number one pick in the draft was, but just speaks to the state of the NBA last couple of years.
Yes.
Blind eye.
Yep.
And then coming to the Knicks, and I feel like I shouldn't even be saying this because like I know there's a lot of Knicks fans listening, and but I feel like it's nice in a sense that like it's like I welcome. Like the Knicks doing well, but at the same time, like I don't have a dog in the fight.
Right.
So like it doesn't matter that they're not off to a good start. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I see that.
But
you're rooting for it.
Rooting for them, yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. But I'm saying it's just nice because like there's just so many things in sports that bother me.
Right.
Which actually gets to my next topic. And I apologize if anybody heard me talk about this yesterday, because actually it was one of those things, it was fresh up happening. So give a little background. Yesterday, I was at the gym, did the elliptical. I'm in the sauna, okay? And I've just always had this thing, it's specific when it's to sports, but I just cannot stand. It just absolutely makes me irate hearing people talk about sports and just saying stuff that just makes no sense. So after I heard this, I literally, Tommy and JD were on Instagram Live, so I just jumped on to tell them the story. And I know you're going to agree with me how insane this is. So one of these people too, and it's like who are you? Okay, so these two guys are talking in the sauna, talking about random sports. Oh, I play this sport, I play that sport, and then this is literally both of these things are the craziest thing I've ever heard. So the first thing was, baseball's not really a sport.
Oh no, dude.
Oh yeah, it's so easy. All those fat guys just hitting the ball, like they're so fat. That was the first thing. So I literally, and I'm telling you, because I don't know, I'm just somebody a lot of times where it's weird because sometimes I know it seems like, I'm talking a lot, but then other times I don't really talk that much. So, but in the sauna especially, I'm not big on the small talk, the random people. Obviously, something about sports comes up, the Yankees, I'm big on that. So I literally go, it is pretty hard to hit 100 miles an hour, huh? Like just like that. And he's like, No, it's not me driving into a pole, right?
What?
So that's funny. And then he's like, oh, yeah, with pitchers moving. Yeah, actually. No, then Tony completely switched the narrative. And then he goes, yeah, you're actually right. It's real hard because, like, even if you're really good, you fail 70% of the time.
What the hell?
And then someone goes, oh, but you know what's even harder? Golf. And then this other person goes, yeah, no, golf's not really hard. And then listen to how ridiculous this sounds. So he goes, yeah, I used to go out with my grandpa all the time. I'm using these like little kids clubs that are like 2 feet. Oh yeah, the clubs are 2 feet too short for you. I'm sure that was the case. Were they little tykes? Okay. And he goes, yeah, so he's telling me, oh, do this, do that. Okay. So then a couple years later, I go buy a set of clubs and we have this family tournament that we do. So I'm in the tournament, I'm crushing the ball, like bounding the ball. He's like, yeah, pretty much every hole I got a par. Oh, really? Because I didn't see you at Augusta last April. Like, how fucking stupid are people, Tony? Like that just really no, and literally, and I didn't respond to that, and I got up and I fucking left, dude, because that is insane.
That is insane. Like, talk about just like absolute word vomit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what are you even saying, dude?
No, I don't know, and I don't know if you're like this, but I can't help it. It just the misinformation when it comes to sports.
Right.
I absolutely can't stand it, and I don't know. I don't know how to hold back. I don't know if you would have said anything, but
Yeah, I probably would have said anything. I probably would just like laughed. Oh wow. Yeah.
but does it bother you at all? It's like you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, I would think that to myself, but I don't think it would bother me that much.
I think the proximity,
Yeah.
being in the sauna, and then to follow it up with the golf thing. I mean, Jesus Christ! And
I know that is a lot.
This is on the heels, and again, I just want to preface this by saying I'm not trying to start this conversation, but one other thing that really bothered me, and this happened the other day. I was going to bring it up, I forgot. But what do we got for JT though? By the way,
he says sauna sessions. LOL. Just turn the heat up on them.
JT,
there you
he
go.
knows it. We were just talking ETH before the show.
Wow.
ETH on me up. So proud to have John here. But I'm listening to Keith McPherson the other day, the old, KM to AM. I think it was actually, you know how I said it was at Cover 2 in Newtown the other day? So
Yes.
hour drive back to Stanford. So
okay.
Listening to his show, and this Mets fan calls in.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
And and Keith, huge Yankee fan, but at the same time, he's giving the Mets credit all year. Like what a run, and like good job with Stearns, Mendoza, all that. So the caller calls in. He's like, "Yeah, I just want to let you know, I was at the Dodgers series for both teams, and I just want to say, like, I don't care that the Yankees made it farther, but just watching both games, and especially like the Mets swept the Subway Series." I think they definitely had a better season. Like they were a better team. Like it doesn't matter they didn't get as far. Keith literally flips out, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? So you're trying to tell me that you didn't want to be the one to beat the Yankees? You wanted the Dodgers to do it?" Like that's the type of stuff that I absolutely can't stand. It's black and white. Like if you advance farther, you do better. That's it. There's no participation in stuff like that. Type of stuff just is insane. Is it not?
It is insane. It is ridiculous. The narrative is hogwash.
Yeah. Like you could say you're better if you get farther. Sure. That the proof is in the pudding. That's like us Yankee fans trying to say, no, we had a better season than the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well,
like obviously not.
Yeah.
You know? So the sports stupidity, I don't know. It's tough for me. Like, I guess it's just like, I can't relate. And it drives me crazy, Tony. I know maybe I seem like I'm out of my mind, but it's like,
not at all.
I just want to hear facts when it comes to sources. I just feel like there's just too much nonsense, misinformation in the world, and it's just insane at the end of the day.
Really, absolutely right. Tenfold, Brian.
And I feel like after explaining that story, it feels even hotter, Tony, than it was.
It is definitely hotter in here.
Oh.
So why is it so freaking hot out, Brian?
I don't know. But also, does this bother you too? So I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I would think you're kind of similar. So get early day, your typical weekday, maybe you did your run, maybe not, but after the shower, you come here, you're doing a little running around. Can you help me with something? And because you just showered, the in, the out, the cold, sweating like crazy, doesn't that like the day starting like that? Doesn't it just like
I hate that, dude.
Yeah, no, that's something that also happened this morning because I had to unload some stuff for a roof, and it's just like and I can't wear. I guess I could have worn shorts, but I don't know. It just seemed, especially in the morning, like it was not that warm.
Right.
Now it's warm, and
the long sleeve is kind of crazy call.
Yeah, with the sweatshirt over it. But just got it at Costco yesterday. Was proud to wear it. It is nice, honestly. But
Dude, how often do you go to Costco?
Honestly, that's funny.
Is it once a week?
No. I would say probably if you averaged out over the course of the past year, it would average to like every 2 or 3 months. I usually just get a bunch of stuff when I go.
Naturally.
Yeah. But I have to say, I was able to pick up some stuff I wanted, some socks, these shirts, a pair of jeans. It might even be the same one I have. I wasn't even sure, but I was like, listen, you can never have too many Yankee shirts. So just nice Yankee t-shirt. And I actually picked up a Knicks t-shirt.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Because I just figured, well, I mean, if I'm sure at some point, whether it's this year or in the coming seasons, I'm going to go to a game. So nice to just have a shirt, $15. Like, you kidding me?
There we go.
So let's go. Right?
Yeah, there we go. It's our game right
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I have to say, so hot, starving, but at the same time,
It's
Tony,
hot, dude.
jacked the hell up, honestly.
Really? All right, let's go. Let's go. Big Thursday, baby. Big Thursday.
Big Thursday. So I just put that up on my screen here. But yes, El Cardinal at Diamante. Martin Lard,
Wow,
your co-leader with Aaron Badley and Matt
Kuchar.
Kuchar, Los Cabos. Now I know you're complaining about it's too hot, but you're telling me right now because
No.
Cabo, great breeze and stuff. You're telling me we were covering this tournament.
Right.
We wouldn't be riled.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the weekend, the beach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The swim up bar.
Swim bar, yeah, dude. I mean, listen, 75 out there, like that's sick. If we're covering out there, it's got to be 80 in here right now, right?
No, it's perfect there. It doesn't get too hot because there's a strong breeze and stuff.
That's so nice.
Made me think of this, and I'm sure I've asked you this before, but like you've been on several cruises in the past.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Now it was after you turned 21.
Only one of them was.
Okay.
Only one of them.
So, and this was just you were there just with your parents and your. Or who?
Yeah, every time with the fam.
Which is
every
family.
time,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, weekday, full week.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just curious because I know for me it like changes as the week goes on. Do you kind of like and it's the unlimited package? Do you stay consistent every day where it's like you're really taking advantage of it, or last couple of days you kind of fizzle down, like you're kind of like, oh, this is like a little much.
I mean, it's tough. I would say I keep an even pace like the whole time. It is like a Bloody Mary in the morning. Like it is, a drink with every meal.
Okay.
Sort of deal. But it's tough because on the cruise you try to find that perfect balance between like, all right, I'm drinking, but I'm also like enjoying some good food.
Yeah.
Like the last cruise we were on, I'm sure I've talked about it. They had hot dog carts like scattered throughout the cruise ship, dude. So at any given point, you can turn the corner and there's a hot dog cart with like dogs ready. So like, how do you not just like grab one? Like, like all of a sudden you're eating 4 before noon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially when it's good quality. Like they had this thing on one of the, I haven't been on a cruise. I guess I actually did go on one like 5 years ago, but before that I hadn't been on one for a while. But where it was like in the pool in the corner, and I don't know if we actually talked about this, maybe you've had this, but they had like a fresh salad to make and fresh burgers. And it was like the best quality.
Dude. Yeah,
sometimes the buffet, like the general buffet, great for breakfast,
right?
Terrible for lunch and dinner.
Yeah, never go.
But
there.
this was like really good quality, and it was like wow, like it would take maybe sometimes a half hour to get your stuff because everyone was getting it by the pool. Nice.
I would like. I'd love to be on a cruise right now, dude.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
Yeah, and especially too because the last ship I went on, it was like a work trip, smaller boat. I got nauseous.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
And I had never gotten nauseous before, but it was like literally. Instead of having, I don't know, a few thousand people, it was like less than 1,000. So it's like the boat was so much smaller. So like every little bump, I literally had to get up in the middle of dinner. Sorry. It never threw up, but like just had to sit with the lights off in my stateroom.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fair enough, dude. But yeah, cruises are fun, dude. If you can, handle the waves and stuff.
The only thing though, but you two have said your thing about like the overboard,
getting too drunk. Yeah.
But don't you think though, all-inclusive resort better? No, right on the beach, huge, multiple pools, swim up bar.
No, I think so.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would prefer the one destination. Again, like you would cruise to destination. We've done the cruise to Bermuda. We also did one cruise that was like. Jamaica, Haiti, Bahamas, like a bunch of stuff, which seemed like kind of a lot because it was like 2 days on.
Well, how about 2 days?
1 day off.
But also, like when you're there, like, oh yeah, we're here for 5, 6. Like, what can you even do? You can't even get around to golf.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like, it's interesting, like what you really want, I suppose. But I don't know. I think the Bermuda cruise, it was like just enough of like we're on the boat, and by the time we were on the way back, you're like, all right, like this is. I'm ready to get off, but then you're back home.
The only thing that's tough with that one though, too many sea days. Like I don't like multiple, like consecutive sea days is a little tough.
Really, dude?
Well, I mean, it's just I don't know. Like, what do you? I mean, you just pool drinking all day? Like,
yeah, bowling
I guess I
alley,
actually would play basketball a lot. Casino, but I mean, it's like casinos are tough enough. The ones that see, like, I definitely have won before. But there's no way you're telling me that the odds are the same. I will not believe it for a second. I don't know what it is.
Dude, they had the one I was on. They had blackjack tables by the pool.
That's sick.
That was sick, dude.
I did do the bowling alley one time, but
Yeah.
very few boats have that, I guess.
Yeah, I
'cause, like,
mean,
it's, like,
come on,
rocky and
dude.
stuff.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
did you
yeah.
think of it, though?
I mean, it's kind of lame, dude. They had like a driving range, net, not
Okay.
a simulator, but just like with the net. So I
Yep.
was doing that. Basketball we played.
You know what's bothered me
arcade a little
too?
bit.
No, basketball. Like when I went like on 3 or 4 cruises with my family, and this is when I was still like in high school.
Mhm.
I would be at the basketball court for hours. Every
Yeah,
day.
yeah, dude. So much fun.
On the top of the deck, shooting.
They used to,
all
people would
around.
play tournaments. Like,
But yep,
yeah.
yeah. But you know what I was gonna say? Another thing that bothers me: people calling mini golf putt putt.
Really?
What? No, I mean, who says putt putt? Like, you're clearly not a golfer, Tony. Come on, even Michael Buck wouldn't say that.
I don't know, dude. It's just because it's mini golf to begin with. Like, what the fuck? It's not real golf.
But you don't say putt putt. I know you don't.
I have in the past.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, my cousins.
Wait, you said it or your cousin said it?
My cousins, like, they said it. They're from Jersey. They do the Jersey Shore things. So they, putt putt, Wildwood, Seaside, a lot of mini golf, a lot of putt putt. So they would say putt putt, dude. And I was like, all right, you want to go putt putt?
You know who I think doesn't say putt putt is Josh B. There's no way.
I can see Josh B with the dog. Oh, you want to go shoot putt putt, girls?
No way.
Girls,
no
you want to shoot putt putt?
No.
I'm gonna get a slice of pizza in the boardwalk. You shoot some putt putt.
No.
That's definitely Josh B, dude. Yes, it is.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
What did Josh B say, by the way?
Did he comment?
Yeah. You didn't get that one? I could read it if you need me to.
Oh, the first one here.
Yeah.
Early on, we didn't get any comments.
Yeah.
Says, yo, fam, Thirsty Thursday. Knicks with the tough L last night. That's a fact. The Rangers are back tonight. LFG, hashtag TCA, hashtag sportsman, hashtag DTV. Michael Buxton says, yo, Barnes, which hotels have you stayed at in San Diego and La Jolla? What are the names of them and the addresses? And who was the person you spoke to at the front desk?
So I've stated 2. Oh, Josh B said, hell no. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of stuff that I can count on Josh B for. I just know it. I don't even need to ask him, okay?
I mean, you asked him.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think back. So the first one, Michael, the Hilton La Jolla. Hotel de La Jolla. My mistake.
Oscar?
What's that?
Oscar de La Hoya.
It took me a second, honestly. So that was the first place. Pretty solid. And I was talking about Sam with this yesterday because we were thinking about, like planning our trip for, next year.
Nice.
It's weird how I don't know if it's like a height restriction thing, but in San Diego, no lie, Tony, there is not one like resort hotel that's just on the beach, like beach right there, go on the beach. Like it just doesn't exist.
Oh, really?
But I'm guessing it has something to do with the height restrictions.
That makes sense.
So this place was kind of like inland, like you would see, La Jolla in the distance. Torrey Pines actually down the street.
Mhm.
Never went there, which I should probably do that next time or play there. Obviously, would be great. So that was where we stayed the first year. Second year, we did like this condo Airbnb thing in Chula Vista section of San Diego. I think anyway, neighboring community, whatever, Tony. And then other than that, it was another Airbnb on Pacific Beach. Michael, salivating. I'm sure that was cool. Nothing like being right on the beach, like step out, like and it's just right there.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
And then last year, I guess technically not last year, but the year before that, we stayed at the Hyatt La Jolla, I guess is just the name of it. Hyatt Regency La Jolla. Solid place, but one of those places kind of seemed a little more businessy and just like right on the cusp of like, okay, the lobby's great, but maybe, the rooms, the pool area,
Yeah.
little renovation.
Little renovations, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couple mil here.
But it's just like,
you're right. I mean, you're staying there. They should be up to date, like resorts,
Yeah,
hotels.
It was fine, Tony. But I don't know.
It wasn't extravagant.
It doesn't need to be extravagant. It just needs to be like not outdated. That just really turns me off. Like the ratchet stuff. Like
yeah.
Worst place I ever stayed was in Orlando. Days Inn, Tony. I literally think it was $69 a night. This is like 4 years ago or something.
Days Inn.
Right next to the Magic Arena, because me and Timo actually went to the game. So we booked it there because like, oh, it's close by. I've never been so I can't even. I don't know about you, but I'm talking like motel status, but like the lowest possible. It's like tough for me to even sleep in an environment like that. Like I would rather like I don't know. I just not be there. I guess like I just can't. I can't do it. It's gross.
Yeah.
Just thinking like that there could be bed bugs. There could be a rat in the fucking corner. Like, ooh. I just. Have you had any bad experiences like that?
Yeah, dude. I had one in Wildwood, New Jersey, of course, dude. And it was with this girl I was seeing at the time. Weekend in Wildwood, you know, like playing on her own, the hotel, whatever.
Oh, this is a good deal.
Thought we like were at a reputable
Do you
place.
know what it was called?
It was recommended. I forget
Local
what it was
place?
called. Yeah. It's like probably still. It's definitely still there.
Okay.
And like we get into our room. And I don't know this. We got there late. That's right. We showed up like a Friday night, a Thursday night, late, like 9:00 or something. And we got up to our room, and like it's like again, it's like Wildwood. So like talk about outdated. Like things are outdated, but again, you can find clean places. This place was not one of those. Like right away, like there was like the carpet was like wet on like one side of the bed, and then there was like we found like bugs in the room and shit too. So like it was not good.
Did you get out of there?
Yeah. So we were like figuring out. Oh, okay. So this is what happened, dude. I remember, we were trying to figure out like where we could go. Couldn't go anywhere because like at this point it was like 10:30. You know, late at night. We go downstairs. Front desk guy hammered. Brian.
The front desk guy's
hammered, dude.
Wow.
Like we go into the lobby and he's on the couch like of the lobby and he's like eating an ice cream sandwich. And like we're like, yo, man, and he like gets up, like, dude, they're clearly highly intoxicated. Only thing he could do is get us a different room. So we stayed in a different room, but obviously, like, I mean, for me personally, I'm a bit more like, not that obviously that's unacceptable, but in my head, I can still like I'm in a new room. I'm like, okay, I can sleep.
How was the room any better?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but obviously, like, again,
Just being in that place.
Yeah. So like next morning, we went somewhere else.
Well, it's just one of those things too. I get it. Like people want to save money, like when they go places. So that's what these owners of these places feel like. But at the same time, you know what it reminds me of, Tony? It reminds me of the restaurant with terrible food.
Right.
Why? Like why you're wasting everybody. I don't understand it.
No, I mean I totally agree. And there is a fine line because people do try and cheat. And I don't know. In my experience, obviously that being one of them, like if you're gonna go on vacation and you're gonna like take that time out and take a vacation, you might as well spend the extra money and be pampered sort of deal.
Yeah.
But on the other end, there still has to be like some, like if I go for the cheaper route, I should have fucking bugs and shit in my room. You know, like there still should be a standard here.
But
you
the
know?
thing is, and obviously you don't know with these local places, but it's like I think the happy median on something like this is you don't do the Motel 6, the Days Inn, the Red Roof Inn, but you do the Hampton Inn.
The
Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn Express.
It doesn't need to be the Ritz-Carlton.
No.
By the way, like I don't know if you did this, but growing up, I would say the hotel we visited the most was the Hampton Inn. And
really?
Most of the time, it was always like clean as a whistle. And really, price-wise, like not that crazy. Sure, you know, some of the times they're on the beach, whatever, certain spots, maybe a little more, but it was like they always like had that consistency. And you know, that was before they were bought out by Hilton. Now they're part of the Hilton family, but it's like that's what it is. You need that middle ground is important.
Yeah, very important.
But the Days Inn, oh my God. And most of the time, sure, there could be some older ones, but like the Marriott usually is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying this weekend, actually.
Oh, really? Okay. But no, wait, but I'm trying to think.
Courtyard. Yeah, Courtyard Marriott.
Those are always good.
Courtyard Ride.
They've made a big like rebranding effort, I feel like, with them. And boy, that's so sick that you're gonna be in Westchester.
Yeah, I'm pretty riled. I mean, wedding, all my best friends are gonna be there.
Yeah.
The food, I did the food. Like
was there like a reserve like food thing? Like, or is it a buffet or like what's the deal? Like, did you have to, you know?
I would imagine that I don't think it's a buffet. I'd imagine they take our orders when we get there.
But most weddings though don't, like with your invitation, don't they have the food choice?
I'm trying to think if Luke did have one.
He might have, right?
He might have, but I will say the past few weddings that I've gone to, they've been taking my order there.
But you know what? Sometimes too, though, they have you do that, but then once you're there, they ask you again. They want to make sure.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right. Honestly, yeah.
But did you say the wedding you went to? I think it was over the summer, but was it like
August.
The hotel not good, or was it just that the fact that the room wasn't good?
That was the hotel. The rooms weren't ready.
But was the hotel good?
Oh
or no?
yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh,
dude.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
it was like okay. I
gorgeous.
wasn't sure
I
because
forget the fucking town in Jersey it was in, but kind of it was a college town. I forget what college I was there. Some with an R, maybe. It doesn't matter. But yeah, they just didn't have enough rooms for the people. Ryder College?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that was actually the first college I ever visited.
Ryder?
Didn't apply there. My grandpa actually went there.
No shit.
I think that might have been why, or just the open houses lined
Yeah,
up, whatever.
yeah.
But I just remember going there. That's funny though that that was the place you went. But yeah, it's just like enough with the grimy hotels, and I just feel like too, like you would think like business people, would like see these places and see it as like an opportunity where you're telling me you can't make money, especially if something's a complete squalor, like, and you just like kind of do the bare minimum to fix it. Like, I would think you would like.
I mean,
be
well,
a
the problem
profitable
is, I
endeavor.
mean, do you think people are like these bad places? People are still staying there. They're paying their rent, right? They are making money.
I would think though, especially because of the maintenance issues at these places,
Yeah.
they're probably just getting enough, but there's not extra money to fix it up. And it's like also it's like if you're an owner and you have to be there a lot, like you want that type of clientele.
No,
usually
thank you,
at
dude.
those places, there might be some illegal activities possibly going on. I don't know.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe. I wouldn't know any.
whoa. No accusations or anything. What's Tommy saying?
All right, says, what up, gentlemen? Rangers got to take care of business tonight. JD's going to be in the house.
Yeah, he was actually when we had the Instagram live yesterday. He was saying his girlfriend actually has season tickets, and it's like center ice 200 section. I'm like,
what the hell, dude? Really?
That sounds pretty sick.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Good for
So
him.
he's pumped up. Yeah, I can't wait to be in the garden myself. So pumped, and it'll be nice, double barrel action. As we've talked about, the football game tonight is a good matchup as well. So to have that, both of those things going, that's just one of those things you get home, feet up.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Good food in front of you.
Is that what you're planning to do?
Yeah.
Horseshoe?
No. I gotta do some errands. I want to get my suit out for the wedding.
Okay.
Make sure everything's up to par and everything, because tomorrow is a busy day. So, but it does give me. I'll be home. Game will be on.
Yeah.
Have some food. Get the suits ready.
Nice.
Pack my bag.
When are you leaving tomorrow?
No, I'm not leaving tomorrow.
Oh, you're leaving
I'm leaving
Saturday morning.
Yeah, but it's just tomorrow's busy day here. Probably be here all day tomorrow. So
Yeah.
gotta
Nice.
think ahead.
No, but I like
get the card today.
especially because the what do you mean the car?
No, the card, like the wedding card.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm just like really excited. Like just the fact that like because anytime the Rangers play, it's a good game, obviously. Then have the football too. Like
I know, I'm
it's
pumped.
sick.
Dude.
Like it's like you don't need to do anything but just go home.
Literally.
There.
I'm really excited, dude. And it's like not fun to have the Rangers back in action too is tip top.
Yeah. Let's go. So
Yeah.
Excited about and it looks like that, but now it does it. But JD had this stat yesterday because I guess it was okay. So 2 days ago, Malkin and Crosby scored in the same game. And
Josh
it was
B texted me on top of it.
about what? Oh, about that. Yeah.
Video cut out. Yeah.
Shout out Josh B.
Oh,
obviously.
Sorry, you were saying Ovechkin and what?
No, it's Crosby and Malkin. Okay, have
Okay.
scored in the same game 128 times. Like, how many wins did they had? Unbelievable stat. I'm just curious. My guess was 90. I'm just curious what
Out of those 121 games, you said
28.
128 games.
Yeah.
How many wins? Oh, I mean, I would say of those games that I would think it's very, very high, to be honest. 108.
I think it actually is.
Really? Stop it, dude.
Like right there,
Yeah.
if not. But I just couldn't believe it. I thought 90 was aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I get it, you're gonna win more than not. But then it's funny. It makes sense though,
Yeah.
because it's like, well, it's like when they have the
When
stats
you're-
about
exactly.
Soto and Judge home rings,
Right.
Judge and Stanton home rings, so same type of thing. So
Yeah.
just thought that was interesting. But Yeah, and before we move along here, at the top, the leaderboard more crowded now. Carl Juan
Really?
Tony has joined Badly, Kuchar, Lard, as well as Tyler Duncan and Isidro Benitez.
Yeah.
So all at 3 under, slew of golfers at 2 under, including defending champion Eric Van Rooyen, Taylor Montgomery, Luke Donald, and that's really it for the 2 unders in terms of notables. My sleeper, Johnny Vegas, 1 under through 5, starting on the back. So needless to say, a lot of golf to be played. And I just wanted to see too what the scenario was with Cam Young. Did Cam Young withdraw? I think Cam Young withdrew.
Really?
Because I searched Young and only Carson came up.
Yeah. Carson Young, Cam Young.
Google Cam Young.
I just did. Withdraws from PGA Tour Worldwide Technology Championship, dude.
Doesn't say why.
Let's see why. The tour did not offer a reason. He was replaced by Sean O'Hare.
Sean O'Hare, the grizzled vet, Tony.
Did you pick Cam Young? No. He was but he was the favorite, was he not?
He
no. Who was the favorite? Yeah, it was.
No, he was the favorite, but I don't think I picked him.
I don't think you picked Cam Young
Yeah.
either. Oh wow, smoked brisket from Chipotle.
Boy, that looks pretty good. But yeah, that's disappointing, honestly, because he was I don't know. I just figured he had a good chance, get that first win.
Yeah, hopefully everything's all right with him, dude.
Yeah,
We were kinda
usually,
rooting for him.
a little tweak, this and that.
Yeah.
But
all
yeah,
right, dude.
so we'll keep an eye out for this.
They should have called you up, dude.
Hey, I'm in Los Cabos.
Yeah, Los Cabos.
But let's go now to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick 6. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle! Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
Quentin Williams. All right. So week 10, is it right, Tony? Week 10?
That's right, buddy.
And Ernie from Kearney
Yeah.
is in the building. So good to have Ernie here. I'm sure he's thinking about his prop bets for tonight. And we'll get into our, specific picks regarding that. But as we all know by now, the AFC North divisional matchup, Bengals, Ravens, 8:15, Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels, Prime Video. So has the potential, I think, to be the best Thursday night football game we've seen up to this point, and potentially the entire season. And it'll be interesting. If anybody would like to kind of comment their thoughts on this. But it's a game that I have to say that puzzles me, because you look at the Bengals, the 0-3 start, the concerns about the defense. I'll have to check on T. Higgins. I think he's not playing. They were almost talking about trading him before the trade deadline.
T. Higgins is doubtful.
Doubtful. Okay, so no T. Higgins. Gesicki did emerge last week. Popular fantasy game for this week.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, 5 touchdown passes last week. I think the league leader in the NFL. Ravens defense hasn't been good. A lot of injuries. I think Humphrey missed last week in the big win. Obviously, they played good defense last week, but that was against Denver. So it's just like, what are we, what version of these teams, are we going to see? And just kind of what I had mentioned to you, I think on Monday or Tuesday about this game is like just the thought of, well, I mean, I could see the Ravens kind of jumping onto that lead, but then is it that second half let up that results in them not covering? But that's just kind of, I'm not locking this in, Tony, but just looking at this, my initial thought is to go in terms of the spread, to go with the underdog here. I don't know what you're kind of thinking initially.
Yeah, I think well, I know I am thinking that as well.
Yeah.
Just looking at this game here, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I understand the Bengals at 4-5. Look at their records. I don't think the records are really reflective on how good the Bengals could be, and in my opinion, are in that direction to getting there. I understand. Obviously they were not off to a good start here. They did kind of edge out some wins. Trouble against the Eagles 2 weeks ago, but I don't know, that game against Las Vegas, they put up 41 points here. I think that was a little bit more, again, reflective of what the Bengals could be, and I think Joe Burrow here, I don't know, he's going to show up and he's going to play his best game here. And I think it's going to be something that we saw last week. So I think the Bengals have a good shot at honestly even winning this game here. I understand the Bengals have had some wide receivers issues here. You mentioned, T. Higgins, we mentioned doubtful, but not for nothing. Like the Ravens wide receivers, like they're not anything to write home about by any means either. So I feel like that isn't a huge disadvantage in terms of the Bengals. And if Joe Burrow just plays his game, I mean, I think he could wait out a mistake by Lamar Jackson or like a last minute collapse. The only thing the Bengals have to figure out is probably a way to stop Derrick Henry, right? They're gonna have to defend the run game. And I think that's really where it lies, I think, in terms of this game. But because of that, I think that +6 there is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like, I don't know, just after the the Chiefs, a lot of talk about covering big numbers and stuff. And then I think about the Ravens, and I don't know too, if it's just, I'm sure the numbers probably aren't as skewed as, it seems, but in my opinion, I'm curious what you think. Feels like this year, more favorites have covered than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I think so. I guess I may have to do some more research, but that's what it feels like. Like the Bills, obviously, they've been covering.
They didn't last week though.
But they've been, though.
They have
is
been.
what I'm saying.
Before
they have
that,
been.
yes.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Because it's always like, that's always the storyline. Like, the favorites don't cover.
Right.
Big numbers are tough to cover. And I don't know the reason for that. Maybe there's more bad teams. I think they said there's something like 7 teams are 2-7.
Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Saints, Panthers, Raiders,
Giants.
Jaguars, Browns, and the Patriots.
Giants aren't 2-7?
Giants are 2-7. I must have missed them.
Yeah, probably just ignored what I was saying, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
That's right, dude.
So the Bengals too, I mean, we know about Burrow, we know about Chase. Obviously, we mentioned Higgins, looks like he's not going to go. But they did lose Zach Moss to IR with a neck injury. So, they have Chase Brown. He's been running pretty good this year, averaging 4.6 yards a carry, 4 scores, had 120 rushing yards last week against the Raiders, Tony. And then, to fill Moss's shoes, they did just pick up former Bears running back Khalil Herbert. So you think that would help. And you look at Burrow, I mean, it's 20 touchdowns, 4 picks. Obviously, he's played well.
Very well.
I'm guessing just when we're focusing on the fact of whether the Bengals can win this game or not, I mean, is it just me, or does it come down to what their defense is going to look like? Yeah, no, definitely, dude. I mean, like I was saying before, I mean, being able to stop Derrick Henry, if he rushes for over 100 yards, like, there's only so much like an offense could do, I mean, I know I was kind of, maybe even downplaying a little bit about the Ravens, but I mean, Ernie said it, hammer the over. This is going to be high scoring. At some point, it's going to have to come down to a defensive stop, I think. And it's funny about the over. So the over to me makes so much sense, but I don't know about you. And I know, like sports betting, isn't your forte, but just to put to get inside your head for a second here, if you were, betting it though, would you feel comfortable taking a total over 52.5? Like actually confident? Because I feel like it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like just going into it, it's just like, geez, that's a lot of points. Like
52.5.
Like, if you look at all the scores of these games, a lot of them have gone over. Like the Bengals last 2 have. The Ravens didn't last week, but Denver only scored 10. But then all the other games have. So I think 4 out of 5 have covered for them, and then it's 3 out of 5 for the Bengals in terms of that number of 52.5.
It's a large number,
right?
So what, 28-24 wouldn't work. It's 50. That's 52.
Yeah,
points.
That's why it's like, it's gonna be. There's no way this doesn't come down to like the fourth quarter or overtime if there is one. right? Like in terms of the total.
That's a lot, dude.
Now, would you feel more comfortable with the total or the +6?
Definitely the +6.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, the Bengals, I mean, they average, I guess, this year 25.2 points given up,
which is obviously a ton.
And
then they average scoring what?
26.2.
26.2.
Let's see what the Ravens do, because I mean, that'll give you, I guess, a little bit more of an indication on the over/under. And away we go. They give up 24.3 points. So right there, it's not 52.5.
Yeah, but a couple things here.
Yeah.
So Josh B says not KC LOL in reference to the spread, but then Ernie from Kearney says 30 to 27 isn't seeable.
I mean,
it's
sure, it's
but
seeable.
Like,
like how much confidence do you have?
Yeah.
Like how much money are you putting down? Are you putting down like you're like $1,000 confident, dude? Like,
yeah, Ernie, could you clarify on that?
Yeah.
Kev Deuce says, let's go. Want the smoke? Ain't a party unless I grace everyone's present.
Oh,
Knicks stunk it up. Shake my head.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, while it doesn't, bother me personally, again, we do want the Knicks to do well. It does seem like, just from listening to, local radio and stuff, that it's definitely a concerning start. It is tough because it's like, even in a season that is, 82 games, or in baseball 162, like that is always a common thing. It's early. But I think when you're such a big fan of a team, it's tough to really have that type of perspective. Like, do you always feel like that? Like, well, every game matters. So I'm not going to say, oh, we're 2-5, or like the Bengals 0-3, 1-4. Like, it's tough to ignore those things.
Yeah, no, it is very definitely tough to know those things.
But yeah, and one thing too that I'm just thinking about with this game, and I don't know what you think, Tony, but do you take into consideration at all that it feels like the Bengals are able to pull this off? That it's like they're 5-5. It's kind of like a reset, new life type of scenario where that kind of like gives them an edge because they're kind of like fighting for their playoff lives.
The Bengals?
I know technically they would still be in it at 4-6, but it just seems like it's just such a big momentum swing if they were able to get this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we spoke about their season. The beginning of their season was not good at all. They were 2-4. Were they 2-4?
The Bengals?
Yeah.
I think it was 1-4. I
1-4?
know it was 0-3.
Yeah, I know it was
1-3, 1-4, 2-4, 3-4, 3-5, 4.
I mean, they're 4-5 now. And at that point, when they were 2-4, when how hard it is to come back to make the playoffs when you start the year at 0-3 and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure Joe Burrow like looked at that and was like, let's do it. Let's hype this into the overdrive here. That's what they're doing. They're 4-5. They're itching their way in. But like you said, that does give them, I think, a little bit more. I don't want to say like they want it more, but they're playing for more almost.
Right.
Every game now is playing for their season. Where the Ravens, not to say that they're like leaning back at all, but they know that they're in a good spot, no doubt.
And then also, is there something to the fact that this was an overtime 3-point game last time? Ravens win, tough to sweep a quality division opponent. Does that play into it?
Always. I forget who was talking about. Maybe Josh B was saying how it's. Oh, maybe I think it was Ernie when he's going down his Packers roster or schedule. It's always tough to beat a divisional opponent twice.
Yeah, that's true. He did say that.
He did
say that. And then speaking of Ernie, he says, listen, 52 covers, possible blowout, and a late game surge or a high offensive game with two shaky defenses get me. Again, I agree with all that. It's just, you try to be careful with these wagers. So it's just like, it's one of those things where we would consider it a third to half circle kind of thing. And then Josh B says, Knicks started 2-6 last year. Good point. Speaking of the opposite of that, with a not good point, and kind of almost, what it almost echoes what I was talking about before, when people say stuff where there's no background to it. Kev Deuce said Soto's going to the Mets for over $700 million. And it's not to say that is impossible. And he follows it up by saying, remember, you heard from me. Nobody knows, Kev. So you don't know. Jeff Passan doesn't know. Ken Rosenthal doesn't know. Joel Sherman doesn't know. Nobody knows. So to say anything definitive now, you can't. Henry get 2, LOL. Burrow throwing for 3 couple field goals in between, and you're right there. Also a division game, like what we said. So we understand. But yeah, I think I lean going with the total, and also too, a good teaser spot if you think about it, because do a 6-point teaser, you would have the Bengals plus 12 and then over 46.5. That sounds pretty good to me. So that might be something to consider as well. But needless to say, I'm definitely excited to watch this one.
Yeah. Me too, dude. Me too. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think everyone's gonna be jacked up. The broadcasting crew here, everyone's tight.
Yeah. And also, is there part of you? Obviously, neither of us have any type of fandom when it comes to the Bengals, but I just feel like, especially they don't make it last year. Burrow misses a lot of the year. I feel like I just want to see them in the playoffs again, too.
Oh yeah,
you know?
definitely, dude.
Like as well as the Ravens, but I think it's going to be a 3-team, division for playoffs. So going to be interesting. But what exactly happens, Tony? Let's do a Thursday night football frenzy.
Yes, baby. Let's go here. Possibly one of the better Thursday night matchups we've seen this year. Bengals marching into Baltimore as they take on the Ravens. We mentioned the Bengals here +6. Over under is 52.5. High for Brian, not so high for Ernie from Kearney.
Never too high for Kev.
Both teams come up 41-point victories last week. Obviously scoring a lot. How do you see this playing out, Brian?
Yeah.
Come on.
I think, honestly, you think about last time, 41-38. I don't know if we quite get to over 80 points. That's a lot. But I think no overtime this time. I think we are in regulation. But you know what? I'm going to say we're going to have, a back and forth game, leads changing hands 5, 6, 7 times. Burrow maybe 3, 4 touchdowns. Henry over 100. Lamar a couple touchdowns as well. So definitely a shootout. I understand Ernie's sentiment on that. So let's go last second field goal. Bengals 31-28, getting revenge for 4 weeks ago.
I love that there, dude. Good call. For me, I don't know. We've been talking about that over-under so much. I'm going to go for an over game here. I feel it. Ernie's feeling it too. I love that. And I think it's going to be a shootout from the get-go, to be honest. I think Burrow, Lamar on their games. Henry, the ground and pound. Maybe Chase Brown trying to match him. Does all right on the ground, but I think early and often we're going to see, Mike Gesicki definitely having back-to-back great games here for the Bengals. Receiving touchdown from him at the tight end position. I think Isaiah Likely's out for the Ravens, but he's an absolute loser. Mark Andrews
back recently after really being where is he?
Where is he, dude? Whoever does that for him. Maybe another tight ends day. Who knows? But I think at the end of the day here, it comes down to it. I think the Ravens are down 27-24. The 2-minute drill. Lamar marching down the field. But wait, Brian, a pick 6 to who? To Geno Stone, the safety for the Bengals, drafted originally by the Ravens. Bengals win this game. What would that be? Fucking 35?
34, right?
Yeah, 34. 20, yeah, dude.
34-24.
Bengals and the over, dude.
And just like that, that is your Thursday night football frenzy. One more bonus thing here. This is almost like an Ernie from Kearney type of segment.
Yep.
Anytime touchdown scorer. I don't know what the odds are. Maybe actually, could you pull them up as long as it's not copyright?
For who?
No, for this game. Like if you just search odds, anytime
okay.
touchdown scorer. I have a thought, and I would imagine, everybody kind of, looking at this game, Henry would be the consensus, but I would imagine, Derrick Henry, 11 touchdowns up to this point. That's got to be some juice, Tony.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see what we got going on here. Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry. Wow.
This isn't the full list, right? It's just
I think this may be just the best.
Chris Brown, or is it Chase Brown? Chase Brown, minus 130.
Yeah. Chris Brown.
Anytime. Best odds. I think maybe that one. Okay, so Derrick Henry is 1-1. Oh no, that's first touchdown.
Yeah, this is first touchdown score.
Anytime so Henry's
Anytime's right here. Derrick Henry's minus 300.
And what's Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase minus 120.
Wait, did they spell his name wrong?
Derrick Henry?
Oh,
Jamar
no.
Chase. No,
The
apostrophe.
capital M.
Yeah.
Confused me. Okay, so it's minus what?
For Chase, 120.
I feel like that. I'm gonna say that's me there, just
Really?
in terms of the odds, probability.
What about your boy Mark Andrews plus 220?
It's like that's one of those things. I'll throw $50. What are Gesicki's odds? I guess I need glasses.
Plus 240.
Plus 240. That's
Yeah.
something I would consider that. And
Nelson Aguilar.
yeah. So I'm gonna say my pick's gonna be Chase. What's yours?
Honestly, dude,
And you can't say Derrick Henry because it's just too obvious.
I know that I would say I'm gonna go with I would say get Joe Burrow rushing it in on his own, dude.
That's crafty. What's the odds on that?
Plus 400.
Not
I think
bad.
that's a nice little value for you right there. Hell yeah.
And speaking of Ernie, he says parlay of the day is Burrow 2+ passing, Chase 1, Henry 2, Jackson 1 altogether. I mean, that's got to be what, 50-1?
Probably, right?
But yeah, if he could let us know what the odds are on that puppy. But listen, this is getting me riled up. That ticket plus 47.37. So I'm guessing that means 47.37 to 1, right? 4,700 plus 4,737.
37-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
$1 gets you $47.37.
right. So, but $100 would get you $4,737. I mean, imagine hitting that.
That would be kind of sick.
Let's
dude.
hear it. I know Ernie wants to tell us.
He says technically it was
I
473.
want to hear the craziest hit on one of these parlays.
I'm sure he put $10 on this one, dude.
And I want to just total payout. I want to hear what it is. What's your guess? I'm gonna say he's gonna say like 770 or something.
Oh,
profit.
Really?
Profit from one of these.
I was thinking like 1,200.
1,200?
Yeah, around that.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. if that's what it is.
1173.
And definitely, Ernie, tell us what you did for that one because I can't wait to hear this. I don't know. I just have never been with the parlays because they're so hard to hit. The juice. Now, if you, Tony, were regularly sports betting, do you think you would do parlays or you would be more of a like one bet type of person?
Probably do both.
Both. But if you had to pick one, honestly.
Parlays.
Really?
I just feel like they're the most exciting, and they do like the fact that you get a parlay together and it is like plus 4,000. You're like, oh, if this hits, like sort of deal.
Wait, how many times?
I know.
Did you hear the person say, no,
one
10-game parlay.
Yep.
I needed 2 rushing yards, and I would have won $10,000. And then, but Ernie's saying 9-leg for parlay baseball, 2K, 8-leg for football, 3K, 12-leg parlay basketball, 1.8K. I mean, those are some good numbers.
That's wild. Those are great numbers. Are you fucking kidding me?
All off $10 bets, Tony.
Wow.
So now Tony has become a parlay guy.
I mean, honestly, dude, like sign me up right now.
Let's go. Maybe I got to give it more of a shot. It's funny that I think about it. So football wise, I know all season, the only thing that I've done for like a prop, so I guess it's not even a parlay, was CD Lamb, anytime touchdown, Giants. I think it was Thursday Night Football hit.
Nice.
But haven't done any since. And then I tried for game 4 of the World Series. I tried the Judge first home run, but he hit the first home run the next game. It was only 7-1 odds, so it wasn't even that good. I think because like obviously law of averages type of thing. But
yeah.
It just the patience. You gotta have patience for these.
Gotta have patience, dude.
But yeah, I'm pumped up for this game tonight, and I can't wait to talk about that as well as our picks tomorrow. The full frenzy. So tomorrow is going to be a great show. And in closing on this segment, Ernie saying 17 weeks times 20 is only $340. One ticket clears for the season. LL. Very true.
That's
Good
a
thought.
great point. Yeah,
Good thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk more about this stuff tomorrow. But let's go, Tony, to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs, and they score! Filthy! McDavid, Pasternak, the shoulder trophy to the Golden Knights.
I can hear the Ranger goal song from here, Tony.
I know, dude. It's great.
Let's go. Let's go. So pumped that they are back at the Garden. We know JD's riled up. Center ice. Have you ever sat center ice?
No, not like center ice. No.
Yeah, I feel like that's gotta be, especially like, and he was talking about this too, where it's like you don't want to be, not that like I ever have or probably ever will, but like too close to the ice because you want to see. So I would think like if you're center ice and you're 200 level, but like first couple, I mean, would that not be like almost the best seat in the house?
Yes.
It's great. Like it's crazy that would be better than being down low.
Yeah, I know, right? The only thing I can maybe think of that would be sick would be like on the glass, like behind the net or something, where you're going to be seeing a lot of action, or in the corner.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Hey, do you know anybody who's had that where it's like they're basically like next to the bench, like anything
next
like
to the bench? No.
What's
up, Michael?
Okay.
But I've seen. I know people who sat behind the net, like right behind the goaltender.
Oh wow. Yeah. That
which is sick, dude.
That must be dope.
And you see, not for nothing, you're on TV the whole game too. Like,
yeah. No, that must be really cool, honestly. One of these days.
One of these days, dude.
So yesterday was one of those days where there wasn't much action around the NHL. Let's fucking go, Michael. But we did have three. And we did see in our nation's capital, the Washington Capitals, 3-2 over the Predators. Ovechkin, game winner. I've considered, and again, it's so early, but the Capitals in the category of Pittsburgh, where there's only so far they could go. Star player getting older. But does this start and these type of wins? I mean, does it kind of make you think for a second that maybe the Capitals are more of a contender than people think?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you want to look at this game and Ovi is doing Ovi things. Obviously, Strome has been I think he's leading the team in points and goals. Maybe I have to double check, but he had 2 assists last night. And then I know, the Predators have been lackluster. That's for sure. At 4-8-1, but hey, I mean, I think you had Logan Thompson actually in net for you, which is interesting. I think that one thing maybe that threw the Capitals for a whirl a little bit was their goaltending scenario. Again, people forget, like, 3 seasons ago, they plan on having Lundqvist for the rest of his career, that was 3 seasons ago. That's not about 3 seasons ago.
Lundqvist seems 10 seasons ago.
I know it does seem like that, dude. Maybe 4 seasons ago, but regardless, I think it took him a little while, but they got Logan Thompson, who I get. Logan Thompson. Is it really Logan Thompson? Yeah, I guess so. Logan Thompson, the former Golden Knight dude. That's actually pretty interesting. So he's going to be having him here. He's 6-0-0 in the year so far, 2.81, 903 save percentage. So there you go. And then, of course, we know Charlie Lindgren as well has been playing very well. So I would say that's the biggest difference between the Capitals this season right now and last season. Obviously, we know most of their guys are the same. I guess, did they have Magna Payne last year? I don't know. But Sonny Milano, I think they had last year too. He's good, youthful guy, came over from Anaheim, I believe. So, I mean, again, Dylan Strome having a year so far. If these guys continue to help Ovechkin, I mean, there's no doubt he's going to break the record, and no doubt they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's just interesting. I mean, I guess it just always works out. And I guess the reason being that, these older players, the reason why we don't see them kind of, leading their teams to victories is obviously you get older, skills diminish and stuff, but get the right supporting cast. It can't happen. And that would be a story if the Capitals are able to make some type of run here. Obviously, didn't have any luck against the Rangers in the first round of the playoffs last year. Who knows for this year, but kudos to them. Nice start so far. I was wrong on this one. You hit it on the head, Tony. 4-1, Detroit over Chicago. Dylan Larkin, a goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, dude, he was looking great. That one goal he had 2, he was just showcasing the speed, just like going right around the defenders here. Alex DeBrincat, also a goal and assist there. He's been huge this year so far. Tough, I was going for the anytime goal, Patrick Kane. That didn't happen, but our boy get the start, Cam Talbot. How about that, dude?
Well, I didn't even know he was still playing.
Yeah, how about that, dude? Alex Lyon had the night off there. Cam Talbot comes in here. And I mean, what a nice little 1-2 punch they have at tender there in Detroit, huh? Talbot and then, Lyon, who obviously had a breakout year, I guess like 2 seasons or last season. So yeah, dude, Red Wings are looking good. Obviously, Blackhawks, take it with a grain of salt if you want. But obviously still, I mean, good win, 4-1 emphatic. That's what good teams should be doing against Chicago right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see what type of season they have. And I saw on here Andrew Kopp. I know it was a empty netter, but is it just me though, or did it seem like he's gotten so much better since we had him?
Yeah, no, I think so. We only had him for a short period of time.
I know, but at that time it was like, why are we getting this guy? And now like he's been pretty solid.
Yep.
Speaking of solid, a nice 4-2 victory for the Golden Knights last night in Edmonton, Rogers Place. A comeback victory. They were down 2-1 heading into the third period, where they scored 3 goals to win by the score of 4-2, and they are 9-3-1. Oilers fall to 6-7-1, and it's interesting with the Knights. I think this is an important season. They win the cup a couple years ago. Kind of, obviously, I mean, how do you can only go down unless you're going to win again. So, it just seems like, what's the direction here? And I think this season is big. And, Eichel had the first goal in here, his 4th. Also, Mark Stone, it was an empty netter at the end of the game, but his 6th, and Hannafin with his 2nd and 3rd goal of the season. They still have William Karlsson. I think, the Knights are in a good spot to maybe, make a return trip to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, no, I think so too, dude. I mean, it does seem like that they are honestly due, as funny as it sounds, to be back there again. Like you said, I mean, I feel like Jack Eichel, I feel like he's barely really scratched the surface of having a great year with Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, you couple that with, some of the great defensemen they have. Noah Hannafin, they picked up, I guess, from Buffalo, I think, right, last year. Pietrangelo, great. Theodore Whitecloud, we know those two have been good last season as well. And then, I don't know. I mean, if their offense just looks as nearly as good as it was last season, I mean, they're going to be good. They have Aiden Hill in between the pipes there. Obviously had some goaltending issues. Logan Thompson. I feel like they're a team too that actually had a lot of turnover with their goaltenders. Logan Thompson, Marc-Andre Fleury, 2 massive, big names really that kind of left their organization. Very interesting. But again, if they find what they believe they have found in Hill, they're going to go pretty deep in the playoffs. And I mean, other things, I mean, Edmonton's really got to figure it out here. I mean, I understand. McDavid isn't necessarily 100%, whatever. But like I said, I mean, I said yesterday, if the Oilers wanted to win this game, they would need help from Draisaitl to pick up some slack there. And I mean, he just wasn't there, which is pretty interesting. You got other guys on the team, Adam Henrique, Corey Perry, older guys you would expect to pick up some slack as well, veteran minds, but maybe they're just another year older this year. Your goaltender didn't really do much in terms of that. Did you really advance your goaltending position in the offseason? No, because you're still putting out Stuart Skinner. And then again, I mean, I guess your defender Bouchard is good. Darnell Nurse is all right, but it's like Ekholm maybe. But I don't know, man. Just like this offseason, they just did not improve their team enough. And I understand, like, you're like, same team running back, Western Conference Stanley Cup here, like
game 7, 26-year-old net.
I mean,
minder.
It's like as if the Mets were to run it back this year. It's so hot in here, I know. Mets run it back this year with the same we made it to the championship series, so like we don't really got to do much, but it's like it's a different year. Again, like Henrique and Perry, 2 guys who are old, they're another year older. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they got to add something. And then, I know that Evander Kane is out injured, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like that they're going to have a bright future in the postseason.
I think what it is, I would argue, I mean, Skinner is fine. I mean, his goals against for his career is 2.73, career save percentage 908. I know the start hasn't been great this year, 3.28 goals against with an 885, but he was 36-16. So I don't think that's the problem, but I think just maybe some more defenders, honestly. Yeah. That's what I would do. As you would say, the true defenseman.
Yeah.
You pick up a couple of those guys. I think it makes a difference. Obviously, Kane coming back as well. And then McDavid, I know he's back for this game, but he hasn't gotten off to a good start. And it kind of a strange year for him last year. Didn't score a lot. What do you think that was all about?
Evander Kane?
Not Kane, McDavid.
Oh, McDavid. Well, yeah, I think last year he was way more of the setup guy, you know,
Yeah.
and I think if that's the role he needs to be, like that's fine, you know.
Right.
You know, a lot of great hockey players, a lot of the best hockey players that ever played the game have been great, like role players in terms of assisting goals, right? So, I mean, that's fine with me, but at the end of the day, you know, he also didn't net a goal or have an assist, so it's like, it's almost, you know, like your Penguin stat with Crosby and Malkin. You
Right.
know, when they score, if your top two guys are scoring, like obviously you're going to start winning these games. This is a game where none of their top guys were scoring. So,
And then, you know, without Kane, less guys to dish to. But
Yeah.
I mean, for him, I mean, anybody else, you wouldn't really think much of it. But 3 goals, 7 assists, 11 games. I mean, it's just you expect more from him.
You do.
But it was crazy last year too, because if you look at his season, and I know he played 6 less games in the previous season, which he played all 82, but he had half as many goals, but only 11 more assists last year. That was kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
But
Well, yeah. I mean, he had almost 20 less points.
I would think though that reverses this year, and he scores a decent amount more goals. I know obviously the pace isn't there right now, but I would think that's bound to heat up.
Although I will say too, I mean, he played 8 less games. He missed 8 games. I know it sounds like minuscule, but
That makes a big difference.
in those 8 games, he could have had 15 points. You know,
Yeah,
could have 12 points.
exactly. So
And all of a sudden, it's looking a little different. You know.
yeah, it definitely makes a difference. That's for sure. So definitely something to watch out for sure. Boy, I feel like more than recent, some more Instagram activity today.
Yeah, it seems like it, dude. People are popping in, popping out.
Maybe people converting over to Instagram, you know, the Facebook scenario at times, right?
Funny
I know
you
we're
mentioned
good
that,
today.
dude. Facebook good today.
But are we
dude?
good for good? Do we know? Like,
We don't know.
and there's not even like we don't even have a remote idea of why.
No, the support people at StreamYard, all how helpful they've been in the past. Right now, this seems to escape them.
Are you pissed at them?
No, I mean, well, it worked today, so I'm kind of positive right now. Like I'm on like tomorrow it's gonna work, and then we'll come in Monday, and it'll work on Monday as well.
As long as that happens, you're good.
Yes, and then it'll be all right. We're gonna roll here. We're good.
So you know, a pretty big slate tonight. I'm looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
5,
dog.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So just like 2 nights ago, 12 games here. Some good matchups, you know, Flame Bruin, Islanders, Senators, Predators, Panthers, Canadiens, Devils, Sabres, Rangers, Penguins, Hurricanes, Flyers, Lightning, Utah, and St. Louis, Chicago and Dallas, Avalanche, Jets, Canucks, Kings, Wild Sharks. So I think a pretty good spread across the board. But obviously our focus, you know, Madison Square Garden, Rangers, Sabres, Rangers coming off the extended break. When you look at the Rangers starts so far, 8 wins in their first 11 games. I mean, like tonight and moving forward, Tony, is there anything that stands out to you that you're kind of focusing on that you'd like to see them do better? You know, I know it's hard to find too many issues with that type of start, but is there anything that stands out to you?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, it's so tough to say. I mean, I guess maybe, you know, defense at times could be more buttoned up. You know, sometimes we have like defensemen have, you know, maybe lack of communication or whatever it may be, are just out of position. Or honestly, I would say maybe even to get better. To try and like, I would know, like maybe this game, like try and press the Sabres in the neutral zone and see, like try and make it really hard for a team to advance into your own zone. You know what I mean? Like almost the way like the Panthers make it really hard for players. Like have like, you know, have 2 guys like just meandering around their blue line, and then have like 2 more defenders in the neutral zone and try to make it really hard for a team to advance. I mean, I'd like to see that type of lockdown defense from the Rangers, you know, not necessarily just relying on Igor having a great game, which we have, and it's been great. It's been tremendous. But I'd like to see more of lockdown D, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. That would be
yeah,
the one
exactly. And I know because Lindgren is he out for a while or no? says injured reserve. But he might be back.
I was gonna
tonight?
say I don't know. I think he was because of his jaw.
No, but is it just me or like ESPN with these hockey injury reports? I feel like not their strong suit.
No. Well, they always let's see. Full Rangers practice doesn't change his injury standing. This was 3 weeks ago here.
I mean, he played the last game. I don't know why though.
I don't know why.
Yours it says injured reserve too, right? But then it says he's going to return tonight. So I guess we're just taking our word that he'll be back in the lineup. Basically, it says every single guy on this injury report is going to be in the lineup tonight.
Oh, nice. Okay, there we go.
So I mean, obviously, we hope that's the case, and kind of, echoing, what you were saying. I mean, I just feel like the Rangers, should be able to impose their will here. And this is a type of team that they should dominate, and there's no givens in the NHL. But I think, with a strong home crowd behind them, I don't see why they don't, get off to a great start here and, win this game by, 2 or 3 goals. I mean, that's what should happen. So, obviously that's what we're looking for here. And especially because I just think, on the schedule, you got to take advantage of the lesser opponents because they are going to play some tougher teams, like Winnipeg on Tuesday. And obviously whenever you have to play Florida again. So, I mean, there are some tough games on the schedule. So these are the ones that you circle that you just want to take advantage of.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. I mean, the Sabres, although how talented they are, it's very interesting, dude. They have they have so many first round picks in their team. Like, it's kind of crazy. And it's funny because a lot of them are like from them, like 2018, 2020, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure like Dylan Cousins, that's one.
Any relation to Jake and Kurt?
No, don't believe so. Different spelling,
dude.
JJ Paterka. Jack Quinn, I think too. Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck, all first round picks. Bowen Byram, your guy. Rasmus Dahlin, I think maybe not so, but Owen Power, right? He was the first overall pick. There is so much freaking youthful talent on Buffalo, dude. I'm looking at this roster, and honestly, I'm thinking like if this team sticks around, this squad, like they could maybe pull something out of their behinds this year. But it's almost like a Devils scenario. Where like a couple of years ago, where they had cultivated all this young talent from being not so good.
Right.
They just need to kind of pull it together a little bit by their bootstraps. And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, you've heard me talk about Luukkonen. They're tender. I'm a big fan of his. We'll see what Levy can do here, but I don't know. I mean, Buffalo. If they figure out a way here to gel and to find some chemistry, I mean, they could be a really good team. Maybe add like a veteran guy who's been a Stanley Cup winner before. I don't think they have any Cup winners on this team. So I don't know, we'll see. But like you said, I think at this point right now, Rangers humming, well rested. Buffalo, come on, dude. I mean, it should be like the Sabres should be like, oh, like they should play this game and be like, all right, like the Rangers is what we're trying to shoot for to be like as a team,
Yeah.
That's exactly what this should be. This should be that, dude.
Yeah. And obviously with that longest playoff drought in the NHL, I know the fans are earning to get back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, and I like we talked about the other day, I think it would be good for the sport as well. Tommy's saying, "Ooh, Avs Jets is a tasty matchup."
It is. Should be good.
So I mean, basically, you could say, what's going to happen in these games? Let's find out. A Thursday Frozen Frenzy
here. Right, you are the double dip, the Thirsty Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started early and often. A usual time slot here for the NHL. We don't, play around with the time slots. We're going to Boston, dude. TD Garden, Massachusetts, as the Bruins take on the Flames, 7 p.m. Calgary here, one of those teams that have been questioning the up and downs of 7-5 now. Good start, kind of wavering. Had some impressive wins since then, though. But other than that, I think has a lot of doubt around the NHL. Boston, another team with doubt at 6-7 here, trying to get another dub here at home. Most recently lost to the Maple Leafs in Toronto, 4-0, got shut out. They're going to be looking for some blood here. The Boston Bruins are minus 190 over to 5.5. Do the Bruins have what it takes to keep the Flames away from them?
I think the flame is lit tonight in Boston. I don't know. I don't like The way the Bruins have been trending, even going back to last season, is Monty's seat getting hot, Tony.
Could be.
I'm going to say the Flames continue their recent strong play here. I could see this being a game where they get good goaltending, play good defense. Boston, for whatever reason, struggles to score, and they end up winning this 3-1. So I'm going to say the Flames and the under. Bruins potentially in trouble.
I do like that, dude. I mean, I don't know. I like the under. I think I'm going to go over here at 5.5. Flames. I think going to be red hot, dude. I think Bruins right now. Jeremy Swayman. I mean, where are you, dude? It's been the talk of the town. So I have a big contract. Don't show up for this season right now. I do think the Bruins at home will find a way to score, which is why I'll have the over. But at the end of the day, Huber the freaking hat trick, dude, is what I'm talking about. Josh B, write that down. I say Flames end this game, maybe 5-3. Bruins stifled at the goaltending position. Next game here, we're going to go to Ottawa. Let's go now. Senators taking on the Islanders here. Islanders looking to score a little bit here on the road. Of course, the Senators going to make it tough for them. They're minus 145 on the road. Over under also 5.5. Islanders coming off that nice win against Pittsburgh in the shootout. Senators losing one to Buffalo, 5-1. Are the Senators bouncing back here at home, Brian?
I think the Senators are bouncing back, and the Islanders, you mentioned that win, but I just don't think this time the rabbit is waiting in the hat. This is just the type of game that the Islanders lose. I mean, let's be real, and I know the Senators didn't look great last time out, but I think this is a different animal here. And I think we talked about the Bruins struggling to score. I think the Isles have that problem tonight. And I think the Senators win this game. I'm going to say 4-2. So the Senators in the under. Brady Tkachuk, anytime goal scorer.
Senators and the under. It's so tough, dude. I'm rooting for Sorokin, but I like Senators. I'll echo that sentiment right there. Senators in the under. Tim Stützle as well. 17 points leading these Senators. Obviously going to net a goal or two tonight. And I just think it may be a night where the Islanders just don't have the offense. We've seen them struggle to score before. I know Kyle Palmieri's been good, but Barzal not around. Brock Nelson, they found a way to score without Barzal past few games. I think Sorokin will play well, but Ullmark will initially play better. And I think Ullmark gets his first shutout of the season, rightfully so, rightfully earned here. Senators win 2-0. Next game, third game, let's keep it moving here. Florida, the Panthers taking on the Predators. Battle of the alpha males here. Battle of the P's in Florida. Nashville plus 170, over under 6.5. Predators asleep at the wheel at 4-8-1. Stamkos, I think 6 points on the season so far. Definitely underwhelming as his first year in the yellow sweater here. They're working on back-to-back losses, scoring 2 goals in the last 2 games, getting beat by the Caps and the Kings. Of course, Panthers, and they're on a 6-game win streak right now. Most recently beating Dallas back-to-back games, outscoring them 10-6. Are there any ways, Brian, the Predators can handle this game in Florida?
If you're just looking at the whole win-loss trend, of course you're going to say, wow, I mean, the Predators are due, but no. And I know, yes, my track record, I don't care. Take the Predators, Tony. Hammer it, because I'm taking Florida. I'm taking the 7 in a row. I don't think it's close here. The back-to-back, tired legs, backup tender. And I am going to say that Matthew Tkachuk has a hat trick, Josh B. And the Panthers win 6-2. Panthers in the over.
Chalk, dude. I love Panthers over, hammer it. For everything that Brian said, Predators are extinct, dude. Let's go next game here. Chugging along, still in the 7 o'clock time slot. We're going to the nice Northeast. Staying in I guess we're going to go to the Northeast. Staying on the East Coast here as the Devils taking on the Canadiens here in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, Brian. Okay, the Devils here, minus 320. How about some value on the Canadiens, maybe? Over under 6.5. You'll get these last few games here. Devils took care of business in Edmonton 3 days ago, shutting out the Oilers. Canadiens, 4-game losing streak right now. If you're Montembeault and the boys from Canada, are you going to sprinkle a little bit of plus 260 in the money line for them?
You got to take it. This might be the dog of the night, honestly. But the Canadiens, Caulfield, Suzuki, Multomil, I think getting this thing done at the Rock. I know, the Devils, higher expectations this year, missing the playoffs last year, the moves they made, we get it. I don't know. I just think the Canadiens maybe catch them off guard. And I think they win this game 4-2. Canadiens in the under.
I mean, I love the dog talk, but I'm going to take the Devils here. Jacob Markstrom, huge difference in what the team looked like in terms of New Jersey from this year to last year. Nico Hischier is fully healthy, I believe, right? Yes, he is. Luke Hughes is day-to-day, maybe be back today. Says that's my return date. That's going to be huge. So is Brett Pesce as well. Those are two huge additions.
How am I funny?
Funny how? How the fuck am I funny, dude? You're funny because the Devils are you going to be scoring for them as they beat the Canadiens. I'll say 4-2 Devils and the under, dude. Next game, best game here. We're going to MSG. Rangers here taking on the Sabres, as in the Sabres from Buffalo. Buffalo here, plus 165. Rangers, minus 195. Over under 6.5. Which is a little bit high if you ask me. It's very interesting here. Rangers working on the back-to-back wins, beating one team from New York, the Islanders that is, looking to beat their next tonight. Sabres beating Ottawa 5-1. I mentioned their youth. I mentioned their ability to score. I mentioned a good goaltender. Can the Sabres hold anything up to the Rangers tonight in the Garden?
5-2 Rangers. Rangers in the over. And I think it's one of those things, huge team effort. Igor, 31 of 33, and I think 5 goals, all different goal scorers. I think Foxy finds pay dirt. Let's go to Vinny T. Let's go to Kreider, Keandre Miller, and then let's go Lafreniere as well. So 5 different goal scorers. The goal song going, preparing for me and Matthew on Tuesday. Rangers and the over.
I absolutely love that, too. Couldn't agree more. Rangers over a hammer it. I think maybe Sabres come out bumping first because they're young, whatever. Maybe even score first. Maybe even Rangers down 2-0 early, first period, dude. You're thinking, oh, no, but wait. Start off, early second period, power play. Chris Kreider, it's a power play goal, baby. And he gets the scoring started for the Rangers. It's 5 unanswered after that, Brian. I say Rangers win this game 6-2. Keep it chugging along here around the NHL, staying in the Northeast. We're going to Carolina in Raleigh here as the Hurricanes take on the Penguins. The Hurricanes 9-2-0, 4-1 at home, Brian, taking on your Pittsburgh Penguins. Speaking of could be good value, though, you mentioned, Malkin, Crosby, Penguins here, plus 225, over under 6.5. Hurricanes, another 6-game win streak out of them. Penguins going to come off that loss to the Islanders. What do you got?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You mentioned the value. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Plus 225.
It's a value day.
Give me the Penguins. And you know why? Because Malkin and Crosby scoring. We know the statistic. Hurricanes great, but kind of due for a loss at the recently renamed Lenovo Center in Raleigh.
Whoa.
So I think tight game, but the Penguins win 4-3. Yes. Crosby, the game winner. Penguins and the over.
Oh, you're going with the dogs. I would love to, but I'm going to stick with the favorites here. I think it's going to be the Canes all day long. Anderson and Kochetkov here, absolutely killing it in terms of their goaltending appearances. I think Kochetkov here gets his first shutout of the year against the Penguins. Crosby, Malkin, shut down, dude. Hurricanes 3-0. Canes and the under, dude. Next game here, we're going to Florida now, 7:30 p.m. ESPN Hulu game as the Lightning take on the Philadelphia Flyers at Amalie Arena here in Tampa, Florida. The Lightning here are minus 210 on the money line, over under 6.5. Flyers season working off a 2-game lose streak here. 4-8 has been a dumpster fire. Lightning, good, not great. 7-6, 3-game losing streak of their own, though. Bounce back at home is probably what Brian's going to say here.
Yes. This is not the underdog value play. Lay the 210. I know it's a lot of juice, but the juice is worth the squeeze here at Amalie Arena. Lightning 4-1 there, so struggling away 3-5. Nevertheless, though, I think strong offensive game. The outcome never in doubt. I'm going to say 6-2 Lightning. Lightning in the over.
I will echo those sentiments. 6-2 Lightning in the over sounds good. Vasi looking mean in between the pipes, dude. Nikita Kucherov, maybe 2 more points in the year, just bring up to 24 points in the league. No big deal for Nikita Kucherov. Next game here, going to St. Louis, the Blues taking on the UHC. That's the Utah Hockey Club, baby. Utah minus 105 on the money line here. Over under is 5.5 here. Look at both these teams. Blues 2-game win streak, beating Toronto, Tampa Bay, scoring 7 goals in those 2 games. Utah 2-game losing streak, giving up 7 goals in those 2 games. Is there a parallel there with tonight's outcome?
Yeah, because not only is it a 2-game losing streak, they've lost 6 out of 7. But we talk about the whole analogy, the rain for 30 days in a row type of thing. And I think Utah due for the win here. St. Louis, not terrible, but also not great. So I think this is a scenario where Ingram comes in. I'm going to say shutout. Road shutout for Ingram. Keller with 2 goals. And give Logan Cooley a goal as well. 3-0 Utah in the under.
Utah and the under. Just want to double check. Utah starting goaltenders. Connor Ingram is slated. Not confirmed. It doesn't really matter, though. I love that call there, Brian. I think, Utah with the shutout. I think Clayton Keller nets 1, maybe Nick Schmaltz. I say Utah. Give me 2. They win this game 2-0. Shutouts. Utah and the under, dude. Next game here, we're going to Dallas. The Stars taking on the Blackhawks. We're in the 8 p.m. time slot now. Chicago. We want to speak some crazy value. Plus 270 on the money line. Sounds like suicide, though. Total is 6.5 for the over-under. Stars just lost back-to-back games against the Panthers. Looking for the bounce-back game here at home. Blackhawks, low-hanging fruit, Brian?
No? Even I cannot talk myself into that. And I was thinking about it. But come on, let's be real here. The Stars at home, taking care of business, bounce back spot. Duchesne, Hintz. We already know, Tony. Ugly quick, by the way, as well. 7-2 Stars and the over.
I mean, Ottinger shutout. Bet that anytime goaltender shutout. Stars here tonight. Whatever, dude. Stars in the under, though. 5-0. Doesn't really matter. Let's go next game now. Winnipeg Jets. This could be Tommy Donovan's game of the night in Winnipeg. Jets taking on the Avs here. Obviously, the Avs at 6-7. You can argue underwhelming. Winnipeg 12-1. I mean, quite overwhelming the rest of the league with the level of play here because of that. Colorado plus money on the road. Not too much, though. Plus 125. Over under is 6.5. Obviously coming off of that very angry victory against Seattle. The Jets 4-game win streak. What are we here? 2 Titans. What do you got, dude?
The dogs continue to bark.
Wow.
Tony. Listen, Winnipeg, great team, but and I think doing a solid for your New York Rangers. I think a little Colorado punch in the mouth. All of that offensive firepower, whether it's McKinnon, even Makar as a defenseman, what he brings on offense, Rantanen as well, and Likainen, who just came back and scored a goal the other night. Anyhow, I think this is close, but in a high-scoring game, Colorado wins here. No Vezina tonight for Hellebuck. I'm going to say 5-4 Colorado. Overtime. Mikko Rantanen, the game winner?
Wow, Brian. I mean, I love the story. I love how you lay it down here. But I'm going to keep going chalk today with the Jets, dude. And I think it is a Vezina trophy, and I think it is for Connor Hellebuck. I think it is his 3rd shutout of the season for Connor Hellebuck. I get it. First time the Winnipeg Jets are seeing the Avalanche, arguably the best team they've seen all season. Now they beat the Maple Leafs and the Flames, but again, Colorado is another level. But I think Winnipeg, I think Hellebuck and the boys rise to the occasion here. I think it's Jets. I think it's Kyle Connor. I think it's Josh Morrissey with the lone goals there as the Jets win 2-0. Jet up, baby. And the under. Let's go. Final two games here, 10:30 p.m., the late night slot. You know what that means? That means West Coast, baby. And that means the Kings taking on the Canucks at the Crypto.com Arena. Vancouver -120 here. Players to watch here. Quinn Hughes, 12 points, leading the Vancouver Canucks. 10 of them coming from assists. So watch out there. We know how Anze Kopitar works for the Kings, though. The Kings come up a 2-game win streak. So are the Canucks. The Canucks are looking to sweep California here with the win tonight. Do they get that, Brian?
No. I think the Kings at home, the discount tickets. You know, what else are you doing in LA on a Thursday night? You're going to Crypto.com Arena. Kopitar, the hat trick, Josh B. Yes. And I think the Kings take care of business here. 4-2. Kings in the under.
Absolutely love that, dude. Give me Kings as well. I'm going to go over here, though. I think Quinton Byfield gets a goal. Anze Kopitar, Adrian Kemp as well. Maybe 2 goals and assists for him. Canucks do find their way towards the back of the net, but for the most part, Kemper keeps it clean. Kings win this one. I will say 5-2. Kings and the over there. Last game here, Brian's one of his favorite teams, San Jose Sharks, taking on, I think, a team that he is surprised by how good they've been playing in the Minnesota Wild, who are 8-2-2 on the road here. They're -270, over under 5.5. We know the deal, the storylines. Mats Zuccarello, the Wild, just losing to LA 5-1. Pretty emphatic loss there. Sharks upsetting the Blue Jackets in overtime 2-1. Do the Sharks still have what it takes to keep on biting?
I'm tempted to say the Wild are shark bitten in San Jose, but I think things are going to get wild in San Jose because Minnesota tight about the 5-1 victory. Have been rolling for that. And you mentioned Matt Zuccarello. I'm going to say 2 goals, 2 assists. And I think the Wild will take care of business here. I'm going to say 5-2 Wild and the over.
I love that too, dude. Give me Wild in the over. I think Zach Bogosian nets 2 from the blue line. Wild win that one in the over for sure. Poor Sharks.
And just like that, that is your Thursday Frozen Frenzy.
What a frenzy it was, dude.
I feel like with that type of frenzy, you don't even need your run in the morning, Tony.
Don't. Jacked up, dude. Speaking of being jacked up, Brian, of all these games, all these picks, what is your game of the night besides the Rangers, obviously?
Yeah, that's obviously always the pick for the game of the night. But I would say, when I look up and down the schedule, I probably, if Tommy didn't say it, I would have said the Avs and the Jets. But you know what? I think Senators Islanders is actually going to be a good game. And like I said, I think the Senators will win. But would it not be Islander fashion, tough, gritty game, and then right down to whether it's the end of regulation, overtime, a shootout, but the Senators at home, fans at the Canadian Tire Center on their feet. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that call, dude. That's gonna be a great game. I mean, and the Islanders, great fan base too. And Ottawa is no snooze fest, dude. You have to be careful. Yeah, absolutely. And we know Kev Dew needs to study up on his picks for tomorrow. Obviously, we have first pick, but I just did see some breaking news that Jags quarterback Trevor Lawrence unlikely to play in their game against Minnesota tomorrow. So that was per Ian Rappaport. Looks like Trevor Lawrence not going to be available. And I don't know about you, Tony, but I can check who the backup is. And right now, Minnesota has been 6.5-point road favorites. But should Jacksonville just forfeit this game? I mean, you never want. Mac Jones, the backup, though. Is it actually? Yeah. Yeah, just forfeit. Good? Yeah. But boy, tough because it feels like there's talent there in Jacksonville. I don't, Doug Peterson has won a Super Bowl before, was a quarterback himself, but it's just not working. Yeah, no, I mean, you said it, dude. It's not working, so it's get out of there, dude. You call him Blake Bortles, maybe? I mean, why not? Honestly, right? And there was some controversy. Wait, why isn't he starting though? Just injury. Oh, I forgot what the specific injury was, but obviously we know. I mean, that's as we like to say, that's the big blow, Tony. Right? That is the big blow, dude. That's for sure. Trevor Lawrence. Let's see. Ankle, is it?
Considering going to play Sunday while he continues to retrieve from his left
Oh,
shoulder.
shoulder.
Come on, man. Tough it out, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Like shoulder? Is it your throwing shoulder?
But I mean, I'm
Is it right
sure
shoulder?
probably he's just thinking, well, I mean,
Left shoulder.
it's over. So
All right. So
who
it's
cares, right?
Yeah, I guess
I'm
so.
sure
dude.
that's the thought process.
He's a righty, right?
Yes, he is a righty.
So
So
left shoulder. What are we doing?
but that, I mean, who knows? I mean, we have first pick, so I'm not spoiling anything here, but that could be one of our picks there, Minnesota, with return of the Mac at the home.
Darnold.
So something to consider.
Sam Darnold.
Couple closing notes here.
Sam Darnold.
We kind of mentioned it at the top. The Knicks going down again in Atlanta, entering the fourth quarter, tie game, end up losing by 5 to fall to 3-4. Towns with a big game, but just not enough. And you look at the numbers as a team. I mean, they made 22 3-pointers. You don't usually see a team not only make 22 3-pointers, but shoot 46% from 3-point range and lose and make more 3-pointers than the other team.
Yeah.
Shoot better from the field and the 3-point line. Kind of crazy, Tony, no?
Yeah, I mean, they really just blew this one. And like you said, that fourth quarter, they just really just absolutely blew it. And I don't know if it's just lack of depth maybe from your bench down the stretch of a game, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, normally, Tibbs guys are normally, workhorses that can play the entire game. So I don't know, man. I just think they were making dumb mistakes towards that fourth quarter, and because of that, unfortunately, you're getting chirped by Trae Young, and of course, Risha Shear, having his career year didn't really help. 33 points. So that'll do it, right?
Yeah. But I mean, what do you think here? I mean, I know we kind of talked about this already, but I mean, it's just, if would you be concerned if you were one of the Nick diehards out there?
Well, I mean, again, by no means, am I a Nick diehard or have an extensive knowledge, I suppose, but I mean, I feel like a lot of the talk was about how this team needs to start to play more together. And I mean, I feel like this is a classic loss with a team that doesn't have experience playing together often, like that's how you lose tight games, is when you make dumb mistakes because you guys just aren't on the same page, right? For whatever reason. In this instance, I think it is because they haven't played as a squad together and they're just not, their game plan isn't, the puzzles aren't falling into place yet, it seems. Will it happen? It seems that, yeah, most people I would imagine are anticipating it too. There is talent here. You just got to kind of figure out the combination to unlock, some wins here. So I don't know. I wouldn't be, it's not like all hands on deck, like jump ship here.
Giannis right now.
I mean, Giannis on the team would be great. I mean, no doubt. I mean, that's talent that you would want. But again, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, are you changing the team for the sake of change? Like, are you really improving your roster with the move that you are making or have made in the recent past? Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe their front office can do a bit more thinking about that, right?
Yeah, and I think give Tommy some time. He'll put the pieces together. And Josh P says turnovers and rebound killed the Knicks. Lack of rebounding. And then Ernie saying they surged late last year. So keep calm.
True. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm sure as many Knicks fans feel, it's just you want to see that switch from the way they're playing now to the way that that they could play sooner rather than later. I haven't even seen any the highlights of researcher.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, Mike and I watched a little bit of him when we were drafting. And he was, I mean, Mike is the one who decided to draft him and everything like that. He was looking up his highlights. So yeah, apparently Mike was impressed. And I mean, I think before this game, he had also the best game of his career, obviously
prior, and then
which was like 19 points or something. And then he follows up with 33 points. And so let's go. Let's start rolling.
And then Josh B also says Brunson has started every Knicks season slow. But I guess, like they say, I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I think it's Ernie that sent me this parlay, dude.
Let's hear it.
All right, so it's a $10 bet, by the way,
to win.
$970. All
Not
right.
bad.
So we have Derrick Henry to score 2 or more touchdowns. Lamar anytime. Jamar Chase anytime. Joe Burrow 3+ passing touchdowns. Derrick Henry over 70 yards. Jamar Chase over 60 yards receiving, obviously. And then Bengals plus 5.5 in the spread and the over on 52.5.
Wow. You're thinking about it.
I mean, I feel honestly the Joe Burrow over 3 passing, 3 or more touchdowns.
That's kind of
That's a lot. Dude. I mean, I guess if you get 3, it hits. So
yeah,
right, it's 3 plus. It's 3 or more.
Yes,
yeah.
but still 3. I mean, that's why I just hate props.
It's so tough, dude. So tough, dude.
But I mean, something to think about there. Something to think about. Hope it hits for Ernie, and
I hope so too, dude.
And Tony, if he ends up deciding to pull the trigger. And then Ernie says no run game.
No run game.
I just want to see something here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a live call. Did you want to get on the sports port, buddy?
Hey, bud.
All right, you're live right now.
Yo, what is good?
What's up, Maddie?
I thought you had some like breaking news for us or something.
No, bro. I just stepped outside for a second. I didn't even know. I got wrapped up, kind of busy this morning, but let's go, boys.
Yeah, let's go. It's Thursday.
Let's go Rangers, dude.
Back. Playing the Sabres tonight. Tuesday's gonna be sick. So let's fucking go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, dude, I was thinking the other day how kind of dope it is to have like hockey season going on right now, and just kind of like how it's like the main thing for us right now. So it's dope. We all like the same team too. It's a fun time. So let's go Rangers and the blue shirts, and maybe get some gear at the Garden on fucking Tuesday.
Let's go. Let's go.
Dude,
no,
yeah.
I'm so pumped for that. And I know you started earlier than me, but I know especially for me, I mean, this still, even though we're on year 3 or 4, whatever it is, this still feels brand new. So that's also what makes it sick, because I feel like we had our sports growing up. They were always the same. They didn't change.
Yeah.
Hockey was an afterthought, but now it's just a completely different ballgame.
That's right.
I know. I mean, it's funny because like I would have thought that I'd prefer like the hockey or NHL over the NBA, dude. Like I would never have thought that would happen, but that's reality.
Well, and the crazy part is it's not just like, a little, it's hand over fist.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I don't give a damn about the NBA anymore. It's just like, I don't know. It's it's different. It's a different game. I don't know, the style of play or whatever. But no, man. And it's like watching hockey, especially that 2015 season with Goose. I mean, watching like every single game like that, I was like, this is insane. Like this is sick.
And that was your inaugural, right, or no?
Yeah. That was the inaugural. I mean, dude, Barnes, obviously, and Tony, I've told it too. I mean, I would go to Goose and we'd watch every game that year, and throughout the whole postseason, that was a crazy ride too. I mean, they were down 3-1 against Washington in the second round. And we were like, damn, like, are you kidding? Like they're gonna and then they come back from that, and then in the Eastern Conference Finals against Tampa Bay, like they're down 3-2.
Oh yeah.
They go to Tampa Bay, like Broussard had that hat trick. So we were like, that's like '94 when like Messier had the hat trick or whatever. And obviously they didn't get it done that year either. But in 2015, I mean, but no, man, it's dope, dude. Hockey's a great, it's a great sport too. Like you watch it, and it's a dope game, man. It's a good sport, really good sport. And it's nice too. The Rangers, being a Ranger fan, like all the history they have and all that cool stuff. So
The history, and it just seems like they have a grasp on what they're doing. They're headed in the right direction. They're close. Like obviously, the end of this season hasn't been easy the last couple of years, but it's just like even though yes, it's been 30 years, but you just know it inside that it's around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're right there. They're definitely right there. So, that's cool too. And it's nice. It's nice to be in kind of like the beginning of the season still here, like we're just kind of started. So, it's pretty dope. So, yeah, man. No, Tuesday will be dope, Barnes.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, I can't. I was just trying to think to myself right now when the last game I went to was. Man, dude. I can't remember the year, to be honest. Maybe 20. I don't even know, 2018?
That's crazy. That's been that long.
Too long.
And I always ask you this, Tony, but the last game you went to was with me.
Yeah.
And that was 3 years ago.
Is it 3 years ago now, or are we coming up on 3?
Coming up on 3,
Yeah.
once we get later in the season.
Wow.
And then I went last year with Brandon when they were down by, I think, 3 to the Flyers. Torts, tight.
Wow.
End up coming back. So yeah, the atmosphere is unbelievable. I can't wait. And let's fucking go, right?
Yeah, no doubt, boys, no doubt. But,
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. But
Yeah.
no, it's good to be on the show right now and right here with you boys. So, but yeah, man, have a good rest of the show, and let's go Rangers and all that good stuff. And here we go, buddies.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Yeah, no, appreciate the call, brother. And, we'll talk to you later.
All right, peace, boys.
All right, see ya.
Peace.
Sometimes the
funny.
best calls
So
are the
funny.
ones that are not planned, right?
That is correct, dude. They say, man.
So the last thing I was just gonna mention here, one more update. El Cardinal at Demonte. That is a good one, Tony. I have to say. You haven't had a new bite like that in a while. Like an all-time classic from the start.
That's a good one, dude.
But crowded leaderboard at top. Lard 4 under. Montgomery 4 under. Van Ruin. So Van Ruin looking to go back-to-back 4 under at the turn. Started on the back. Greisterman through 8 is 4 under. Benitez 4 under as well. Scoring pretty good, so far, and a lot of golf yet to be played here at Los Cabos. So we'll take a look at this one tomorrow. Other than that, I think that just about does it here on the Sports Sport. But
That's right,
what
dude.
a great show it was. And we really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, and subscribe. All the archives in the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume. The merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers!
Let's go Rangers!
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.